On Sunday morning at the Heist on High Street, a load of us are getting together to do a play about Dylan Thomas and the Kadoma Boys. It's a short play, script in hand. We're doing it radio style, and via the internet it's going to be broadcast over the world, so it's quite an exciting project. So today I thought, just to get a little bit of atmosphere and sense the appeal of a coffee house to Dylan and his friends, I would come to one of, I guess, what is one of Swansea's best known brand names, and that's the Kadoma, a family owned business now on Portland Street, because originally the original Kadoma was on Castle Street but got bombed during the 3-night blitz of the Second World War. So today I'm going to be a Kadoma boy and enjoy the atmosphere in one of Swansea's best known coffee houses. Marcus, this is a real trip down memory lane. I grew up in Swansea, so I've been coming to the Kadoma for as long as I can remember as a youngster. It's been a little while since my last visit, but this is a real family business for you, isn't it?
Yeah, my parents took over here in August 1970. I grew up in the cafe with all the family. We're still very much a family business. My wife, my sister, myself are pretty much running it these days. Yeah, nothing's really changed. We have a very similar menu to when my parents took over. We have adapted, but you know, just with the times. But yeah, a lot of the same core ideas that my parents had, we try to keep it going.
So the kidneys on toast and the tongue.
I wouldn't say we could get it. We're fortunate enough we got a butcher's next door, and we could do a special request, but I don't know if we'd actually get it.
Kidneys on toast is. I love the stories of coffee. I mean, my story is well known. I've never drunk coffee in my life. I've never tasted people say, "How do you know you don't like it?" I just kind of.
You just don't like the idea of it.
The idea, yeah. But what I do love is the stories behind all the coffees, not just these at the front, which are named after different Gower Bays, but every single coffee that you've got has got a story behind it.
Yeah, well, it's just very personal. Kadoma has always been very important, family and friends. You know, we've got a blend over here. It's called Zana Blend. It's basically, I have two daughters. One's called Zoe, one's called Anna. I happened to go to a coffee shop in Monmouth, and I tried the coffee there, and I just thought it was stunning. And I recognised the bags, and they're the same bags that our coffee roaster uses. So I phoned him up and I said, "Any chance I could have that?" And he went, "No, but I'll give you as close as." And as a result, that's why we got that coffee. We've got another coffee called the Nicaraguan. That's a coffee I really liked when I went on a surf trip to Nicaragua, where I tried the coffee there. It wasn't very nice, the coffee at the time, but in customs, I bought some of the coffee there in the duty free. Came back, tried it was stunning, and that's why it's on the shelf.
I love the story behind George. It's sad, but shows how big a part you are of Swansea.
Well, George Clutterbuck is a friend of the family. I've been working, all my working life, George was always a customer. He'd always come in on a Saturday. He'd always come in the middle of lunch, always the busiest time. He'd stand there, he'd want us to grind the coffee up. It was never quite right. Always have a smile on his face. He always tell me to chill out, relax. Unfortunately, George passed away back in the summer. I just felt it was right that we should do something to remember him. So his boys still come in every Saturday and get the coffee, and it's nice.
So these ones here, it's best to go to the larger ones, bags over here. They're all based. You're a bit of a surf dude.
I don't know about a dude, but I'm an aging surfer. I love the sport. It's been a big part of my life. I'm lucky enough to live out in the Gower, and I've mixed my love of Gower, surfing and coffee together. As a result, we've got these different blends. The idea with the coffee is the milder coffees reflect the less powerful waves. So Three Cliffs, for instance, quite a cruisy kind of wave, you know, and the coffee reflects that. Whereas you have something like Slade Bay, it's a really powerful wave. The coffee's got that bang when you drink it. You've got that taste. And and it leaves a lingering memory there.
So I need to stay away from that bay, don't I? You're not just sell them here; they're available in other restaurants. And online?
Yeah, I supply lots of restaurants, cafes, hotels. It's a new venture that we started a couple of years ago, and we're having a go.
I must say this, and again, I don't mean it as an insult. I mean it in the best way. Is vision-wise, it's not changed, is it? From when I would have come in here as a Deneva schoolboy after school in the 70s, or when my mother would have brought me here, it hasn't changed.
I think we're very lucky. My dad had the foresight not to change things back in the 80s when it looked a little bit passé. I think now it's almost retro. These tables, all the decor, it's all the originals from 1957. It's unique. There's nothing like this anymore.
And the girls are still in black and white?
The girls are still in black and white. Some of the waitresses, they've been here. Well, I was 1.5 when my parents took over. Still, there's 2 of the waitresses are the same ones. So, it's lovely.
Fantastic. So come in, get more information. You sell online?
Sell online. Just give us a call. Just look us up. God, I'd be happy to help.
It'd be fantastic, but stay away.
Stay away from Slade. Keep away. Locals only.
Actually, locals only. So Annie, I'm kind of not surprised that we found you here, because this is a place that you like to come for the coffee and the whole tradition of the name Kadoma.
Absolutely, absolutely. What's great about this place, it's in the centre of Swansea. It's got traditional food, good prices and a great ambience.
It's not the original Kadoma, is it? We must say that. The original Kadoma, where the Kadoma boys and Dylan Thomas went frequently, was on Castle Street, but was bombed and destroyed, of course, during the Blitz. And he wrote about it extensively, particularly in A Return Journey. There's that wonderful meeting where he met a strange lady, I think, round by Mount Pleasant Chapel in that little side street there, when she talks about him and what they talked about, these young men talking about, and girls, you know.
Always girls.
Always girls. And that's wonderful. But I have to say that it's a tradition for me, because I remember this coming in here with my mother as a boy, and I went to Deneva school, and we would often come around here after school, you know, and it still feels the same. Those who work here, they're still in black and white.
Absolutely. And if you look back at the menus from about 100 years ago, you'll see there are similar things still on the menu. They've been refreshed, but they're still here. You know?
Swansea has that new coffee culture, though. There are Costa Coffees and Starbucks all over the city now, everywhere you go. But Swansea's had that coffee culture for years, isn't it? There was great influence from Italian settlers, particularly after the war. But you know, the history of this goes a lot further back than that. But Dylan Thomas, they were just coming here. None of them planned to be famous then, did they? They just came in here as young artists and young cultured men, and just sat and did exactly the same as what people do in coffee shops today.
Absolutely, do exactly the same as young people do today in any case. But I think that the Kadoma boys, or the gang, really were the Renaissance, the cultural Renaissance, all wanting to be, all highly skilled, and just meeting up and talking, you know, just talking and whinging about girls, you know,
and all these philosophers. How would you do in a test if I said to you, name the Kadoma boys?
No, I'd get a few of them.
Would you?
I haven't been married to all of them, but I feel as if I should have.
But they were all wonderful characters, and each of them had a different skill. They were musicians, they were writers, they were poets, they were artists. They were all very, very different. Yes. And what brought them together?
I think there was a need. To be part of, because I believe that artists, Dylan especially, didn't feel part of. He felt apart from, and what those people gave him, and he gave to them, was being a part of their own gang, their own world, and being with people who understood that boys can cry. You know, I think it's vitally important.
And to Dylan Thomas, Swansea was everything, wasn't it? I mean, if you read, to mention Return Journey again, he was heartbroken by what happened in the Blitz, as was everybody, of course. It was an incredibly tragic event and a needless event, but he was heartbroken to see his Swansea, or our Swansea, is no more.
I think every time I read or hear Return Journey, I think for one it's the most poignant piece of work. But it really does highlight how Dylan realised he was part of the mortar of this town. And he loved to hate this town, but hated to love it as well, you know? Just as we all have at some point in our lives, but once it goes, you know, he knew.
In that piece, Return Journey, he listed all the businesses that had gone, didn't he? You know, Stead and Simpson, Tucker's Fish. He went through them all, you know, as if he was listing the dead, those who had passed away. They were because they were a part of his life, everything. And around here, all flattened except for Mount Pleasant Chapel, which was untouched and stood as a beacon, I guess, of hope to the city.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the difference between this place, the new Cardoma, then the post-war Cardoma, and the original one is that the naughty boys can't go upstairs here, you know, like Dylan and his gang did. I've been told, though, that in the 70s, the sales reps used to go to the back by the mirror, and just like Dylan, used to order coffee in the morning and pay for one coffee in the afternoon when they left.
What I like about it is there is an element of tradition in here, isn't there, really? There's this permanent smell of coffee. And I've made this huge confession to you and Hugh alone that I am a non-coffee drinker, and for no reason other than I never could believe I liked it. You say, how do I know I liked it? I don't like it, I don't. I've never drank coffee in my life. But I love that they've still got matchbook holders, which are almost unheard of now because, of course, they're of the smoking ban.
Absolutely. I mean, the Cardoma, as you say, smells of coffee, smells of tradition.
It does.
You know, and that's why I like it, and many people like this place, that we've still got what we were brought up with. You know, good service, good food, good value, and a place that you feel okay with.
To say it hasn't changed is not an insult.
No.
The decor hasn't changed. The tables, the style, those things on the wall, nothing has changed.
No.
And I think if it did change, then people would be outraged.
I think it's back in fashion, actually. I think it's very retro. Because this is 1950s, which is when the current owners took hold of the Cardoma, of course, 1957. So I think it's retro in fashion, but it's traditional in service and food.
Found this menu, which is from, I don't know,
It's 100 years.
100 years old, and it's just. I do need to do this now, which I didn't do as an old.
Also available in Braille.
But there's like mushrooms creamed on toast, a shilling. Kidney on toast, 10 pennies. How bizarre is that? Minced ham with tomato on toast, 9 pennies. Threepence for a potato cake.
There you go.
It's incredible.
But what's great is there's loads of things on there that we still have that is on the current menu. We wouldn't have kidneys on toast now, would we? That's not fashionable.
Ham or tongue sandwiches. It would be just ham nowadays, wouldn't it? Yeah. Cardoma shortbread and chocolate biscuits. Tuppence.
How much is that in new money?
I have no idea.
Well, sixpence was 2.5p. So tuppence is...
Almost free.
Well, we haven't got a halfpence anymore, have we? So it's a free gift, yeah.
Herring rolls on toast. Nah, that wouldn't have been for me.
No.
That would have been...
No.
People can pick these matchboxes up, can't they?
They can indeed.
Matchbox.
Marcus has said that anybody who'd like a matchbox in readiness for Guy Fawkes.
Bonfire night. Excellent.
They can pick one up from him at any time. And it's got the Cardoma on the back. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Don't throw these out.
No, dear me, no. Well, it's been lovely to talk to you, and we could talk Dylan all day, and I'll buy you the coffee.
but you won't drink it.
I won't drink it. No. Chatting to Annie, we were chatting a lot about the story Return Journey, which Dylan Thomas wrote. He came into Swansea the morning after the 3-night blitz and was heartbroken because the original Cardomas, was on Castle Street. Right. There's this whole Cardoma Boys. You've never read Return Journey. No. You must read okay. Return Journey.
Well, I'll read it if you try coffee.
I've only got your word now, haven't I?
Well,
there's no guarantee. I should be able to test you before. I've never drunk coffee in my life.
Well, I understand you've got a bit of a sweet tooth, so I'll make you a nice sweet tasting coffee. Trust in me. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
I'm trusting you. We'll
give it a go.
So hang on now. Wait a minute. Let's not rush things here. What have you done now?
I'll talk you through. I put some sugar in. Right? I've given you 2 spoons of brown. I've given you a shot of the Torbay espresso coffee. It's my premium coffee, so please don't spit it out. And I put a little bit of hot milk in there just to blend it a bit.
Go on. All right. Go on. Bit of scripture comes back to mind, like, yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I shall fear. Look at you all with your cameras. Have you no shame?
It's all right. Take one for the team.
I am.
Is it offensive?
No, it's not. No, it's all right. It's not offensive at all.
Okay, that's something.
I can taste the coffee in it, which is a bit of a killer, to be honest. But no, it's really nice. So this would be. I could.
So this is our best-selling coffee these days, the Torbay. This is what we put in the restaurants and the best hotels.
And is it on my lip to prove that I have?
No, it's not. No.
There we are. I have drunk it. Well, listen, congratulations. You've done something which no one else has ever managed to do.
That'll be a first in the Cardoma?
Yeah, I've drunk coffee.
Yeah. So next time you're in town, come and have a coffee.
I will be like a shot. 3 years a student, never touched it.
Wow. What did the caffeine hit you, or do you drink tea? Do you? Drink tea?
Yeah, I do drink tea.
Oh, there we are.
I drink peppermint tea, to be honest.
Really?
From
Harvard.
I know.
You're drinking peppermint tea.
Plasmal, eh? Please.
Sorry.
No, I drink peppermint tea and fruit teas. I don't take milk in my tea.
Changed, Kev.
I don't take milk in my tea, and I don't take sugar. So I have to have a little. So I go for a lot of peppermint tea and.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Plasmal.
Lovely boy.
My dad had opinions on it.
We've changed our Kev. We
You drink coffee, do you?
I drink coffee by the... Yeah. Well, actually, I don't drink it by the bucket load. I like a really nice, strong cup of coffee now. The real McCoy. I've become a bit of a coffee snob.
Why?
Yeah, because it tastes great, Kevin. No! There's that hit. There's that depth of flavour, And it's... Obviously, I'm European, Kev. I'm a European guy.
Are you?
Yeah. Obviously, from Prydwen.
For much longer.
We'll see.
We'll sort that out next year.
We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Listen, the heist, you get a cup of coffee there?
Yeah, lovely cup of coffee. Nice cup of coffee.
You're looking very wide awake.
Yeah.
Considering, what time did you go to bed last night?
Last night, it was gone midnight. Had a great night. Chris Jagger was down. He is Mick's brother. That's the thing people always say, which is a blessing and a curse, I suppose, for a career, because it's going to open some doors and it's going to slam some others shut. But he was great. A strong Welsh connection. He'd made his first album in the 70s with a guy called Dave Pearce from Llanna somewhere, near Carmarthen, who came last night, first time they played together in 30 years. And he's just a great character. Berlin this last week, Amsterdam and Swansea High Street.
Shall we look?
Oh, great. Yes, please.
Across the windy shore, and on she's yet is knock on trader's door. Come on, peace, come on, prayer, and the wind blows through your hair, 'cause we're heading down Santander. Natal Portman, Natal the laundryman, honey, Bob, and I go to the Spaniard. sleeping all the day, dancing all the night. And oh, she's yet used to be just right. Trampled all the streets 1,000 times or more. And oh, she's yet head out to the shore. Hang on, beast, hang on.
Two girls in the band, you wouldn't trust that with his brother, would you?
Actually, the one with the other long hair is a bloke.
Is it?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Right one.
But I get your drift.
It's a small television here.
Probably still wouldn't trust him with his brother.
Musicians, they just never die, do they?
No, and that's the great thing about it is what do musicians do when they grow up? They carry on playing. I mean, that's what they do. That's what we do, and it's called playing, isn't it? That's something that sometimes when it becomes a job you forget. But last night, he'd driven down from Somerset. He's getting his stuff out of the gear. He's a bit late because he got stuck on the motorway. Started playing. You couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
That's why I went to bed gone midnight last night.
Last night I was in the Mumbles.
Oh, great. What are you
the
doing?
Methodist Church.
Lovely.
Fundraiser called Mumbles Got Talent. I said, it's going to be a short night, that thing. But there was the Phoenix Choir of Wales were there singing with us. John Mills, old Everboy, the musical director. And we were sitting having a cup of tea during the break, during the interval. And there was a fella there, he started off by saying he was an Everton fan. And I lived in Merseyside and he lived in Birkenhead where we lived for a while. And we were just chatting about that. But they said, oh, tell him the bands you were in. He played with everybody, the Beatles and Jerry Marsden, all these guys. And they said, yeah, I was watching a film, he said, of Brighton Rock the other day. He said, a new version of Brighton Rock. He said, not the original. He said, and a song came on halfway through the show. He said, and I wrote it,
Yeah.
Amazing guy.
He lives in Mumbles?
He lives in Swansea, but
right.
he was there with the choir last night.
Oh, gosh.
Played with all these big bands in the 60s and was a chart topping songwriter.
We were offered the other day, we were offered Pete Best to come to the heist. The drummer who left the Beatles, who kicked the Beatles. Would people be interested, do you think?
Would you go and see Pete Best?
I don't know.
No response.
I haven't said yes yet, but we'll see.
But he's got a story to tell, isn't he?
A great story to tell. He was there. He was, well, for some of it.
All right. Well, I want you to stay with us.
Okay.
Just for a little while. We're going to get some more music. And we'll talk about an event, a very special event, which is coming to the house this Sunday morning. Fantastic. So, hey, it's good to have your company this afternoon on Friday Lunchtime Live, and we'll have some music from young Mr. Cooch very, very shortly. Play a couple more of his songs in the final session of our programme here today on Bay TV Swansea. Stay with us.
Staring at the bottom of your glass, hoping one day you'll make a dream last. Dreams come slow and they go so fast. See you when you close your eyes. Maybe one day you'll understand why everything you touch, all it dies. Only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her, let her go. Wow. Only need the light when it's burning low. Only hear the road when you're missing home. And only know you love her, let her go. Wow. Oh, thunder only happens when it's raining. and players only love you when they're playing, and women, they will come and they will go. When the rain washes you clean, you'll know I've become so numb, I can feel you there. Become so tired, so much more aware of becoming this. All I want you to is be more like me and be less like you. Become so numb. Staring at the ceiling in the dark, same old empty feeling in your heart. Love comes slow and it goes so fast. You see when you fall asleep, never to touch, never to keep, 'cause you love her too much, you dive too deep. You only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her, let her go. You only need the light when it's burning low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her, let her go. And you let her go.
Good stuff.
Great.
Thanks, Sam. We'll have some more music from Sam Cooch before the end of the programme. Mal Pope. Do you remember those days? Young guitarist.
Enthusiastic. Play anywhere, anytime.
Passion, anytime.
Yeah. Long gone.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Heist Sunday morning. I'm really looking forward. It's a very, very special event, isn't it?
It is. It's the 50th anniversary of the passing of the other great Swansea poet, Vernon Watkins, in the shadow of Dylan Thomas, but a great poet in his own right. He was actually teaching in university in Washington when he passed away. He was lined up to become the new poet laureate. Sadly, he'd had a heart condition, but he loved his tennis, and he died whilst playing tennis. So his 50th anniversary, and his widow, Gwen Watkins, who still lives in Mumbles, she's 94 years old. They met at Bletchley Park, where they were code breakers. She'd written a play called Cardoma Voices. It's a nostalgic look back at Vernon just before he leaves for America. And then it goes back in time to the Cardoma days with people like Tom Warner, and Alfred James, and Dylan Thomas. And it was sent to me by a mutual friend about 3 weeks ago. And I thought, what can we do? When's the anniversary? It's Sunday. It's too short to be a theatrical performance, but why don't we do it as a Facebook Live performance and broadcast it to the world? So Gwen's going to be there, family and friends are going to be there, and a world premiere. And Kev, you're in it.
I'm in it.
You're in it. Yeah. Playing Tom. And it's important. Tom was one of these Cardoma characters who kept the whole thing running because everybody wanted their voice heard. You know what artists are like. They all want to have the last word. And Tom was the one who kept the oil running in the machine.
So Facebook Live, Sunday morning,
11
o'clock, live from the Heist.
Live from the Heist,
on High Street. So
and if you're watching, please do get in touch because we'll be monitoring the comments and we'll be sort of reporting back. And it is a global event. You know, the last time we did it with the Morrison Orpheus, we had Vancouver, Washington, all these different places around the world. So we're hoping for something similar.
Fantastic. I'll see you on Sunday morning. Thanks for joining us today. Let's get some more music to finish from Sam Cooch.
Roaming around your room, and you could have a steam train. I'll be anything you need. You could have a Big Dipper going up and down around the bend. You could have a bumper car bumping. It's amusement that never ends. I wanna be sledgehammer. Why don't you call my name? I wanna be your sledgehammer. This can be my testimony. Sledge, sledge, sledge. Open up your fruit cage, 'cause I will be your honey bee. Open up your fruit cage. It's the fruit that's as sweet as can be. I wanna be sledgehammer. Why don't you call my name? I wanna be your sledgehammer. This can be my testimony. I keep the habit, keep the habit, keep the habit. Shed my skin, shed my skin. This is a new step, this is a new step. Now come back singing. Why don't you show for me, show for me. Yeah, I will show for you. I've a real bad habit, I've a real bad habit, yeah. I've a real bad habit, I've a real bad habit, yeah. I've a real bad habit, I've a real bad habit, yeah. I've a real bad habit, I've a real bad habit, yeah.